It's time to stay curious. Well, we are definitely going for moon, guys. XRP is at $2.54 in the green today. Fantastic to see. And we're going to keep going higher until something changes. Not to mention, I found something very odd about this pump is that as soon as CZ got pardoned, we're starting to pump. Maybe they're calming down on the manipulation of these cryptos, right? And finally letting it breathe. And if that's the case, well, maybe it was worth pardoning him. Let us begin. Today's video, it's something a little bit more unique, guys, and it ties back to the founders of America in itself, how America was founded, and it comes back to Ripple and XRP were truly chosen. Let us begin. Now, guys, we're the fun part of XRP in the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. Mr. Poole, in the year 2019, he tweeted about. He tweeted today, guys. Okay, this is like another delta. On 10/24 today, okay, October 24th of 2019, question 1, will XRP have a slow or sudden rise in value? He answered sudden. And this was a delta for today. Okay, so is it beginning? I hope so. And then here's another one. On 10/24/2023, 2 years ago today, message begins, launch, 11/3/47, message ends, launch. What could that mean? Right? Is that the launch date or the moon date? November 3rd. And then 47. Right? Maybe to April 7th. I'm not quite sure. But again, launch. We are launching today. Right? So I hope that's the case, guys. And we're starting to pump right now. I'm looking on my left monitor. $2.55 for XRP. Oh yeah, where it's going for moon, guys. I don't think it stops. I think the next resistance, because we just broke out, by the way, out of $2 and what was it? 52 cents, right? That was major resistance. Next resistance is going to be basically at 270, I believe. So let us watch out and see what happens. This is where it gets a little bit crazy. The conspiracies are coming out now. Justin, Coinbase, Ripple, and Gemini listed as donors of President Trump's $300 million White House ballroom. Not everyone will make it to the dance. Who's included? Ripple. Interesting, huh? Ripple, Trump. Right? When they took this picture, by the way, watch this. When they took this picture, you guys see the ships in the background, right? Reminds you of BG123 and Persevere. Okay, so. Look at this, guys. Right now, this is where it gets a little bit creepy, though. Right, the ballroom. Ripple is investing in Trump's ballroom. Right, this is for the White House. Now it gets crazy. Please like this video and share. Okay, watch this and how we're going to tie everything beautifully here. From Shadow of Ezra. A TikToker claims President Trump's new White House ballroom construction will disrupt the Freemasonic layout of Washington, D.C., which was intentionally designed with symbolic geometry visible from above. He says this change will break the city's sacred symmetry, erasing the Freemason symbols woven into its original blueprint. And it comes back to this White House ballroom, which Ripple is investing. Right, or donating, guys, right, a certain amount of money for this White House ballroom, and it comes back to the Freemasons. Let us investigate deeper. This gets crazy. What?
The one thing I want to talk about is the original design of Washington, D.C. As you know, this was built as a Freemason city, and there's a lot of sacred geometry in Washington, D.C. You get an overlay of this with Freemason symbols and the star, which of course looks on the surface like a satanically built city because of the geometry of this place. Now, if you didn't know, Donald Trump is building an archway and adding to the ballroom. So this sacred geometry that's been set up in Washington, D.C. is about to be considered asymmetrical now.
So he's basically saying here, guys, let me actually show you guys the overview map here, right, from the bird's eye view. This is the map, guys, and you guys can see the layout, okay, of Washington. Basically, there are strange patterns, okay, strange patterns of roads and houses, guys, okay, that are formed here, which comes out to the symbols that are shown within this picture. Okay, but the TikToker is suggesting that Trump's new ballroom, which Ripple is investing into or being listed as a donor, okay, of Trump's White House ballroom, will disrupt this flow that we see here. Okay, it will disrupt it. Now, I don't know how. Okay, but it seems like, let's keep watching on.
Quote, sacred Mason geometry that's been a part of Washington, D.C. for 250 years is about to be knocked out of whack and out of alignment because of Donald Trump's plans of what he's building. Most people haven't talked about that. I'm going to talk about it. I just did. And whether Donald Trump knows it or not, this is absolutely fantastic. It's
obviously Donald Trump knows about it, not to mention he is a Freemason to begin with, guys, right? Presidents are not elected. They are selected. Okay, they're not randomly chosen. Okay, they're there for a specific purpose. The founding fathers of America were Masons. Think about that. Okay, so to be fair, this brings some type of comfort if you really think about it, right? It does bring some type of comfort knowing this, because of the fact that chaos is not random. It's actually coordinated. It happens for a reason, right? Though Trump's White House new ballroom will disrupt the energy of the sacred geometry. Okay, I don't think that's the case, because I don't know where, like, how it would do that, right? It has to be a big change, I think, but
it's almost like Donald Trump's building plans are a physical thorn in the side to what Washington, D.C. was all about. This is absolutely fantastic news. I love this. I want to see Trump build more shit. Hey, what's up, America?
So, to build is what they love to do. Okay? So again, there are specific patterns within the roads and buildings and the construction, right? Of the layout of Washington, guys. Okay? And which comes out to this right here. Now, but it gets a little bit more crazy. Let's watch on. Okay, I'm gonna have to narrate, guys, because I can't play the audio, so let us begin. So what was in the minds of the men who designed the Capitol Street Plan back in 1791? George Washington, our original president, commissioned Charles Lafon to make the design for Washington, D.C. Pierre-Charles Lafon was a French architect and civil engineer. It was he who designed the strange layout, the diagonal avenues, the major intersections or circles, but it was George Washington who had the final approval. Do you guys see? Right? George Washington had the final say in how the city will look like, basically. Right? With all the intersections and this weird pattern that was carved out. Okay, with the roads, the buildings, and certain things that are placed within the city, guys. Right? Now keep watching on. Researcher and Arthur Arkham Elias thinks there's a clue in a painting of the city's foundation. Take a look at this painting depicting George Washington laying the cornerstone of the nation's capital on September 18th, 1793. In this and in other official portraits of the event, George Washington and other senior figures are all wearing the full regalia of the Order of the Freemasons, but George Washington and Pierre-Charles Lafon were Freemasons. President Washington was a top-ranking Mason, and the secret or history codes of the Freemasons are embodied in the symbols commonly associated with the order. And those are who built America, by the way. From inception, history was written. Take a look at the pentagram or blazing star. Represents to Masons the shining light of God as seen by Moses when he is given the 10 Commandments. Its southernmost point is touching the White House, and the most important Masonic symbol, the square and compass, representing God the Creator and the architects of this Temple of Solomon. The compass is the most important symbol in the Bible. And not to mention, how many times did Mr. Poole point to these certain symbols in the past? Does that tell us he is one of them too? The third striking symbol is the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument is dedicated to George Washington and is shaped like an obelisk, an ancient symbol from Egypt which connects to the pyramids. And another symbol from ancient Egypt is where we could find on our $1 bill. So this is all Masonic influence on Washington, D.C. Now we understand why Ripple is being a donor of Trump's new ballroom. Right? These are the chosen ones as we see listed. Okay? Coinbase, Ripple, and Gemini. Do we understand what's happening here? The things that were set in motion were pre-planned. Okay? Brad Garlinghouse is a Mason himself, by the way. They all are. Okay, they all are, guys. But again, in the end, it brings some sort of comfort knowing this, because you know that we have already won, right? That's why you are initiated if you're in this. Okay. Photos: White House starts East Wing demolition to build Trump's ballroom. Right. So it seems like it's already beginning here, and yeah, this is fascinating. Though I don't think it will disrupt the flow, right, of the city. That was founded so long ago. I don't think so, right? But it will be an addition to the new world. May the bear start dancing? Will he? Probably. Today's date, 10/24, to expect the unexpected. A bunch of stuff happened today, right? A bunch of stuff happened today, indeed. Okay, Brad. That connects with the current financial system, which CPI data related news came out today. Yesterday, 10/23, the moon. The fountain for today's video comes from XRP. This thing is amazing. So we see this calendar, guys. The AL calendar. It's day 122 of 6026 AL, which comes out to today's date, day 122. Interesting. 122 is XRP's moon day, right? January 22nd, supposedly as well. Very fascinating indeed. Now, probably that's why Mr. Poole tweeted about today's date, right? To expect the unexpected and things like that, of that nature. Now, on each device, let's see what happens next. But again, we know the game plan. We know the code. It's all laid out right in front of our faces. Now, on each device. But anyways, that's what face amazing is. See ya.